Hello, everyone. This is Howard Fox, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series, the podcast that celebrates individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Get ready for today's episode because we have our passports in hand. Unfortunately, we're still at a desk doing this podcast. I wish it was on location, but this is an exciting episode. I have a pleasure of introducing you to Azdean Elmoustaquim. Azdean is the owner with his family of Destination Morocco, and he is the host of the Destination Morocco podcast. Azdean, it's a pleasure to have you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Howard. I really appreciate this amazing opportunity to be a guest on your incredible podcast. And I'm super fortunate and super pumped to be a guest in this episode. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
I know we are. And I bet you say that to everybody. And thank you, really, from the bottom of my heart. But I have to say, just the excitement of being able to interview you today, it means a lot. For one is I am a food lover. I'm a foodie. And I have always enjoyed Moroccan food. And while I live in Las Vegas, I have no idea if there's a Moroccan restaurant here. I'm sure there is, but I came from Chicago, and there's a couple places there that we used to go for tagines all the time. And I always said, I can't buy a tagine like on the big A company. I needed to go to Morocco to buy my tagine. So, and then here you are. So, and you run a tour company. I thought, well, this is a good sign. It's a very good sign. But really, again, it's a pleasure to have you. I can tell you are in your podcast studio. It looks pretty good there. I like the setup. Where are you located right now?
I am located in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Okay. And so I'm curious, what was the impetus for creating and starting with your wife this Destination Morocco tour company?
That's a really good question, Howard. As me and my wife are immigrants from Morocco, and we travel back and forth. And as we age, things start to change a little bit. And then we had our son in 2015. Then things really changed quite a bit. And we know where we are from. We know our culture, tradition, and all that stuff. But it was really important for us, Howard, for him to grow up and knowing his roots. So he's an American born here in Houston, but it's very important for us for him to know that Morocco is part of him as well. So we were very fortunate, and we traveled with him to Morocco 3 or 4 times. He loves it. He's very connected to it, to the family, to the culture. And it's a lot of fun for him. So he really enjoys it.
Okay. Now, does he say, Mom and Dad, when are we going back? Or is he old enough to appreciate that?
All the time.
I love it. Now, so both you and your wife have good extended families out there. So he has parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins.
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. I'm like kind of envious of your son, actually. So first off, wanting to make a kind of an experience for your son to understand his roots, when did this idea of creating this tour company? Because I'm the type of person, I start doing my searches online, and you get everything from everybody, and sometimes it's hard to navigate through to the noise. But what is it about Destination Morocco that sets itself apart from, say, some of the other travel planning opportunities?
But there's a lot of travel planning opportunities and agencies and tour operators. But what makes us a little different is we are based in the US, and then we also have an office in Marrakesh, Morocco. So we are really connected to both cultures, if you would. How do we know the number one market for us is America, and second one is Canada. So we know what the American audience wants. We know what they're looking for, and we can cater that to them because, again, we're Moroccans and we have those roots and a network in Morocco. So we can tailor-made those itineraries and experiences to them so they can enjoy Morocco like a local, if you would, Howard.
Mhm. You know, by the way, you mentioned you have an employee in Marrakesh. It actually crossed my mind to play a Crosby, Stills, Nash,
Oh my
which I don't
gosh.
think I get permission for the Marrakesh Express. But you know, again, I was doing all this planning for this episode.
Thank you.
So, who are your ideal clients that are coming to you? Because you know, some folks want to come and they want to be pampered. Some folks want to, like for me, I want food and I want to see the stars. I want dark skies.
Yes.
And but who are your typical clients that'll come to you and say, "Help me curate an itinerary"?
That's a really good question. But before I answer that, Howard, I'm in love with the background picture that you have. For the viewers, that's Marrakesh. That's the Qutbiyya Mosque. It's been there for centuries, and then the skyline. It's perfect. It looks really really amazing picture. Then those satellites, you can see them in the houses on the top rooftops when you go to Marrakesh. So that image is just, I'm in love with it. It is incredible. So the perfect target audience for us, you're absolutely right. We have foodies. That's what they want to do. They want to have an experience, but in that experience, they want a cooking class, or they want to do a food tasting tour, or they want to do both in different cities, or sometimes in the same city. So we have adventure lovers that they like light hiking, not something really, really difficult, but just they want to experience the mountains. And the most popular one that we had last year is everybody really wants to mingle with the locals, if you would. They want to
Mhm.
have local experience with the Amazigh people, the Berber people. So it's a lunch experience, a dinner experience, or just spend a day with the Berbers. So that's, or the Nomads, or in the desert. So those are the experience that really gain a lot of popularity, is everything that involves the locals. So people they can go and see the museums, the attractions, and all that stuff, but they also want to feel like they're part of the culture. They're part of the simple life, if you would, how with the locals, and also look at it in terms of the listeners, because the data that we have, we really collected from the listeners to the podcast.
Mhm.
98% of people that come to us and they want us to book their tour from A to Z, which that's what we do basically. We pamper them, are women. So we do the majority of our business with
Really?
women. They plan for the family, if it's a family of two, family of four or six. So they're the ones that are really planning. 98% of them. The most customers that travel with us, 60% of them are Jewish. A lot of people don't know that Morocco has a very, very diverse and rich Jewish culture. It's a surprise to a lot of people.
Mhm.
Yes, you can go to Morocco, even though you do just a regular tour. That regular tour is still a Jewish tour, because there's a lot of Jewish history that you're seeing. It's just not being mentioned to you as Jewish in a way. The
Right.
food, for example, 85% of it is Jewish food. So it's the Jewish culture is well in Morocco. So it's, those are some of the numbers. And again, the audience that they travel with us in terms of age, they're between 35 to 75. And the groups that we do of people, I would say they're in probably between 65 to 75. So the small groups that a lot of them travel with us, they're a little bit, I would say 65 to 75. So, and again, we do private tours, small group tours, honeymoons, anything that you can really, really think of, how would we do. But those are really the target audience that we have for us. Those are the data that we have collected through the
Okay.
podcast.
I'm curious, of the visitors who are coming from the US, Canada, I mean, Americans have a kind of a reputation. If there's not a McDonald's and a Starbucks on a corner, we walk to the next corner hoping that there's a McDonald's and a Starbucks. Reminds me of a good, oh God, what was it? There's this joke, I forget his last name. He's a comedian. His last name is Lewis, but the Starbucks across the street from a Starbucks. Okay, I digress. If I'm going to come to make it and want to visit Morocco and go to these beautiful cities, how do I prepare to get acclimated to what services and the people so that I don't feel like I'm an outsider who's demanding everything or has this expectation that's not going to be met? Because one thing, if I'm going to meet the locals, I don't want to upset them. I want to be respectful of who they are, what they're doing. So how do you help prepare your clients for that experience?
That's a really, really good question, Howard. By the way, Americans are really perceived really, really well in Morocco because they are really generous when it comes to tipping, when it comes to taking care of the community, and this is honestly the truth. So, in that regards, we start our journey with a discovery call, and discovery call we answer all the questions that the travelers have, and then if they move forward and they hire us, then we plan everything for them from A to Z. And then when the itinerary is approved between then and the time they travel to Morocco, we do a few meets. We meet again and again because we want to go over, just like you said, how we want to go through over the cultural aspect of their travel, what to expect, what not to expect, what to do, what not to do, and so forth and so forth. And
Mhm.
that includes the taking pictures, that includes a lot of questions. They say, hey, Morocco safe, what do I wear? And all that stuff. So we address all those concerns before they get to Morocco, whether it's how much do we need to bring with me to Morocco? Do we need a credit card, a debit card, and all that kind of stuff? So
Mhm.
there's a little bit of a process and meetings before they get to Morocco. So when they arrive to Morocco, I would say they're 75% ready or prepared. But then the other 25% is between their personal perception of Morocco versus the reality what they see in Morocco. So we prepare them as much as we can. So it's that way the experience is somewhat close to everything that we have told them in the past.
Okay. When you have your clients that are they're on the discovery call and then the follow-ups and they're starting to commit, what do you find are the number one experiences that they want to have? Again, I get some folks are my age, some folks are newly married, it's a honeymoon. It's a group of women that just want to visit the bazaar or go to have nice, good food. But what are some of the kind of like the top five or six experiences that people they really want to see it and they don't want to leave Morocco without having seen it?
It's everything that you have just mentioned. Like I said, the number one really is the Berber experience. The number two is the Jewish heritage tour. The number three definitely is the food. A lot of foodies they travel with us, and again because the Moroccan cuisine recently has ranked number one globally, and it has been that way, top three, top five for the last 5 or 10 years. So it's very diverse from street food to authentic Moroccan dishes. Anywhere you go to Fas, Marrakesh, tagines are beautiful. Couscous is just excellent. So, and also the good thing, how this everything that we have mentioned that you have talked about as well, all of that can be implemented in one itinerary.
Mm.
So we can do the Moroccan hammam and spa experience. We can do a hot air balloon. We can do a cooking class. Everything can be done um, in 7-day itinerary, 8-day itinerary. They have 10-day itinerary. So we can implement all of those experiences so they can enjoy Morocco like a local and have just an immersive experience while they are in Morocco.
And you just raised a question for me based on the itinerary. Is let's say on the high end, is 10 days enough?
10 days is more than enough. And again, when we talk about the target audience in America, 10 days, not a lot of people get a 10-day vacation to begin
True.
with. So that's versus the Europeans or other travelers, they have the luxury of time. Versus the American audience, time is it's super valuable. So if somebody gives you a 10-day, you really, really, they're giving you, a golden opportunity for you to show them Morocco the right way. So just to give the audience a little bit of ideas, Morocco is pretty big.
Yeah.
It doesn't show on the map that it's big, but from the north to the south, it's the equivalent to driving from New York all the way to Florida. So it is pretty big. If it's the first time people are visiting Morocco and they have 7 or 8 days, I always recommend do the north side of Morocco first, then maybe the south side of Morocco some other time or one of them. If you have 10 days, you definitely can do both. In
Mhm.
10 days, you can do the fast, can do Chefchaouen, you can do the desert. So you can do 10 days and see the complete Morocco tour. If you have 12 days, you'll just get to spend a little bit more days in different cities, but you still see the same things as you would in 10 days and stuff like that. So 10 days it's a perfect itinerary for me.
Okay. Now, we've talked about food a little bit, obviously the tagine, the couscous, and just, I mean, again, you're making me hungry. So this is on you, my friend. It's on you.
Like,
I'm also a coffee drinker. So how's the coffee, by the way?
oh, the coffee in Morocco is incredible. And I'm so glad you mentioned that because Morocco is known for tea. There's Moroccan tea everywhere you go.
Oh,
People have it for
Moroccan mint.
breakfast. Yes, Moroccan mint tea, that's just a classic. So, but for me, it's so funny because somebody asked me tea or coffee, and I said coffee. I love coffee. I drink
Okay.
coffee all the time. So coffee is really good in Morocco. And there's definitely a coffee culture in Morocco. So in addition to mint tea.
Interesting. Now, I also enjoy sitting outside with my coffee or my tea. We'll include tea in this, and just people watching. Can I do that
Oh,
in these communities that I'm going to
oh,
visit?
yes. Oh, yes. I mean, when you go to Morocco, you'll see coffee shops, just like you said earlier, Starbucks next
We
to
don't
me
want
at
to
a
mention
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Sorry,
Oh,
can't do that.
okay. My apologies. The coffee culture in Morocco, there's a coffee shop next to another coffee shop. So it's really the coffee shops are super popular in Morocco. And that's what a lot of men go to and girls. They just go, they just want to enjoy the company, chill's company, or just sit by themselves and just have a really good cup of coffee. So you can absolutely do the same thing, Howard, when you get to Morocco. So
Okay. If I was going to plan an adventure with Destination Morocco, how does the local tourism board or the country's tourism board come into play? Do you have interactions with them? Because again, you're bringing these international clientele, they're experiencing it. It's an opportunity for the local destination, the national tourism board. How do they, if any, play a role in the type of work that you're doing?
the National Tourism Board in Morocco, they do help us, especially in social media. So we have access to everything that they have, which is just incredible. And that's where the help really stops. Now they can do sponsorships, which we never really asked for anything. In terms of the locals, yes, the locals they love having tourists, their visits, and things like that. But just to give you an idea, how massive tourism in Morocco, every household there's at least one or two people in that are working in the tourism industry.
Mm.
So it is massive, whether it's in a village in Timbuktu or in a city, smaller or major city. So tourism is pretty big. Last year, we did 19.8 million visitors in 2025. And again, we ranked number one in Africa in terms of tourists. Then in 2024, we did 17.4 million. And that was the first time that we ranked number one in Africa after Egypt. So
Mm.
those numbers are just incredible. They're amazing. It just tells you how important tourism is. And this is part in terms of the government, the tourism board, His Majesty the King as well. So everybody's really working hard to change, Morocco in terms of tourism. So they are bringing tourists from all over. I see that, the tourism board is a little bit more focused on the European side versus the North
Mhm.
America side. I think they should focus a little bit more on the American audience, if you would. That's going to help tremendously because Morocco is well known in Europe and other continents versus America and Canada. So but tourism is definitely going the right direction, and we're going to see so much more development, especially for the next 5 to 10 years, Howard.
Okay. So I'm curious. I know you had the pleasure of being interviewed by Rick Sayes from the Outdoor Adventure Lifestyle podcast, and Rick and I, as well as other peers, were members of the Outdoor Writers Association of
Yes,
America.
yes.
And if he didn't share this with you, I'm going to do it right now. Tee this up. How would it how would you be able to handle, or is this something that you could foresee, like a bunch of writers coming, or journalists, podcasters, photographers coming to Morocco for a 10 day itinerary with then going back to wherever their home is and just creating massive amounts of content. Is that something that, as a destination, a tour company, is that something that you could envision?
Oh, and I already did that. It's so funny because
I'm really
the,
good at, you're in Houston, so you know baseball. I'm good at just teeing up
I
those
know,
little
yes,
pitches.
it's amazing how I love it. I love, but the funny thing for the audience, sometimes you publish an episode of 30 minutes, but the audience do not realize that probably we'll talk for an hour and a half. And this is one of those things because I did talk to Rick about it and he mentioned it, and it's an amazing, amazing idea. And I know I've followed them on social media right after that episode. So they followed me back, which is just incredible. And yes, it is doable and it is possible. And this is the best part about being a guest in a lot of podcasts is the opportunities that really come with it. And some of the other podcasts, they suggested the same thing. Hey, I have a really good audience. Would it be possible for us to do this type of tour in Morocco? And yes, of course, we can definitely do something 2026, 2027, and bring everybody and price it at a rate that it's really, really comfortable for everyone. And then it's, for me, I'm the biggest winner. And
Yeah.
that's how I'm really looking at it. And it's an amazing, amazing opportunity. If we can put it together, I would love to be part of it.
Okay.
100%.
I'm thinking about it. I mean, all I know is I have to find a way now that I have interviewed you. Now, there's a saying, and when I'm not podcasting, I'm a coach, leadership, career development, executive coaching. And there's a saying in the coaching field, and depending on what style of coaching is, what you think about, you bring about. And
Absolutely.
so now that I'm having this wonderful interview with you, I'm thinking, okay, how do I get to Morocco? And by the way, I have a friend, Ruby and Gumaro, both visited Morocco a couple of years ago, and I shared that I'm interviewing you with your website. Guess what I'm doing? And but because I think there's so many beautiful places in the world that we should be visiting, and there's so much wonderful history, and obviously the food, the people, the culture, and the environment, the scenery. You've got it all. Speaking of that, how would you feel, Asdean, about doing a quick tour of your website with us?
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Okay,
Thank
here, let
you.
me share the screen. The miracle of technology here. All right. Okay, so I've got the website up. Take us on a little tour here.
Oh, yes. This is our homepage. It's kind of funny, but you can see there's a tour that I'm promoting in November. This is the
Okay.
first time I'm doing it. It's a tour that I'm going to be guiding in Morocco. But this is when we talk about the experiences. This is a family from New Zealand that we did a couple of years ago, and this is a cooking class.
Uh,
The big foodies, just like you,
I
Howard. And
recognize the tagines all
yeah,
lined up.
yes, yes. And we were able to do this at a Riyadh, really nice Riyadh in Marrakesh. So the experience takes half a day, and there's so many different ways that you can do a cooking class. You can do it at a Riyadh like this. You can do it at a house, a private house, or you can do it at a farm, which is just they're all different. Sometimes, in this case, they have all the ingredients already picked up already for you. So when you come in, you just start, prepping and cook it right away. Or some other experiences, you go to the local market. That's what it's a favorite. You go to the local market and you pick everything for yourself. Then you come back to the Riyadh. Then you have a team behind the scene that helps you prep everything. Then that's when you start the cooking process.
Okay. By the way, the local markets, that's one of my other must do's when I visit other countries. I love visiting the markets, and it's so, and I'm sure with your bazaars you have the meat market, the fish market, the
Oh,
fruit and
absolutely.
vegetable market. I love it. Okay. So where else should we
Oh,
go?
this is a good one. Oh my goodness, how uh, sometimes I need to go back to our website more often. So this is one of the Riyadhs.
You
This
really
Riyadh is
should, by the way.
thank
You
you,
really
thank you.
should.
It's a Riyadh called it Riyadh Fez, located in the imperial city of Fez, which is the oldest city in Morocco. And that's one of the spots that I send to people. If you go to Morocco and you have one day, go to Fez because it has everything that you really, really need. It has some of the old, some of the new, and it's just beyond incredible. And this is what one of our guests, I believe Max and Jamie, this is what they stayed during their trip to Morocco, which they
Mhm.
had an amazing, amazing experience. So,
Wow. And I love the fact that that is a social area. People come down, they sit, there's probably tea served, and
yes,
I love that. That's the best part I think about some of these destination experiences, especially with a larger group, whether it's folks or folks you hopefully you're going to meet. If it's intimate enough, you have great conversations going back and forth, being versus being invisible. And it's just like you're part of this massive group and you may or may not interact with anybody else.
absolutely,
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
And this one, this is one of the attractions that you can go to. There's Secret Garden, there's Majorelle Garden, there's Bahia Palace. There's so many things to see. And again, this is taken in Marrakesh. So we do guided tours. So in
Okay.
all the major cities you go, you have your local guides that experience or it showcases the city for you and explains everything for you.
I
So
love it.
and this one is me and my son. Was taken in Tangier. There's what we call a Hercules cave, and we believe
Okay.
our tradition. We believe that Hercules was injured, and he came and he stopped by that cave, and that's where he lived for some time before passing away because of his injuries. So
Okay. Excellent. Your little guy's got quite a head of hair. I'm kind of envious, as
I know.
should you be as well.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my goodness, how this is amazing. So to the left-hand side of the picture, that's the Hassan II Mosque located in Casablanca. And again, when you go in, you'll have your local guide
Mhm.
what once you go inside, the architecture, everything's just marvelous. It's just beyond incredible. And everything looks just like new, even though they started building it in 1987, finished it in 1993. So it's really, really one of those must see in Casablanca. And then on the right hand side again, look at the street food.
Mhm.
That looked like some lamb with chickpeas, and it's just very very beautiful and cooked slowly, very tasty.
This
So
hurts. This hurts. Oh my god.
it does.
Oh my god. So I am curious. So you've got the podcast, we've got private tours. This is the one. Well, but there's one thing I'm curious. So discover Morocco like a local,
Yes. So
and
yeah.
yeah,
So these are some itineraries that we have created just to give the audience or the listeners some ideas what to look for and how to experience Morocco.
right,
And these prices, they're not really accurate because every itinerary we built is customizable, is very
right,
different than the next one. And
right.
then, when you click on the view trip, then it's going to take you to the details of that itinerary day by day with images and videos just to make you feel like, this is what you're going to experience, for example, in Marrakesh, and this is what you're going to be able to see in Casablanca and so forth. So they're
Okay,
really, really unique itineraries.
okay.
Absolutely.
I love the colors, by the way. Just, I
Thank
mean, even like this banner image is like, wow, it's just amazing. All right, let me go back. There's one thing I was curious about. So you have a magazine,
Yes. The magazine, this is something we worked on for quite some time, and I actually just published it today.
okay? Oh,
I
really?
added it
Okay.
to the website today. Yes.
'Cause I don't recall seeing it. Now it's, my computer is taking its time coming up, so we'll what we'll do, we'll just wait for it to kind of load. And then you've got your podcast here, you've got your episodes. What's it been like to have the podcast?
Oh my God, it's been beyond incredible. The things that we're able to achieve in terms of even the people that don't travel with us.
Mm,
They love the podcast. We get feedback all the time. Hey, thank you. Your podcast saves me money. I was about to be scammed that because of we did 4 episodes about scam or the Amazigh Chronicles. We did 4 episodes about the Amazigh culture and the people, the indigenous people of Morocco. So we've
right.
been getting a lot of really good positive feedback from the podcast, even though when we started the podcast, Howard, we honestly have no idea where it's going to take us, but we just wanted to do something good and valuable that the listeners will really, really appreciate because when you do your homework about Morocco online, there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of
Sure.
inaccurate information. So this is really good content. Sometimes we have some episodes that we seem like we're harsh or we don't love Morocco, but we do. It's just we have to tell the truth.
Sure.
We talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So
I
And people
appreciate
really
that.
appreciate that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I appreciate that. All right, let's see if it came up here. There we go.
Here we
So
go.
this is the magazine.
This is the magazine.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
The,
And yeah, and you can see that. Um,
wow.
that was really quick. So inside the magazine, this is something that we were able to do with this platform, Howard, is we were able to embed, like this is Chefchaouen, which is the imperial city. And again, this is Casablanca inside the mosque. Here's the blue city back again. It's very hilly. It's in the hills of the Rif Mountains. And the picture on the right-hand side, you can see the Rif Mountains. Those are the Rif Mountains. It's very beautiful. It's one of the must see, especially if you're doing the north side of Morocco tour. And then again, the video, it's an episode that we did about Chefchaouen. We talk a little bit more in detail with our local guide, Hamid, and he gives us some just incredible information about, the history, the reasoning behind the colors, the views, things to do and visit in Chefchaouen. So it's like a magazine and a podcast at the same time. So
I love
just
this. And
incredible.
I definitely have to come back and visit this. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Now, before we head out here, let's see. We've got the podcast. Go back to the logo. Here's your phone number. And I see you folks can come here and book a discovery call. Wonderful. This is a great, very informative website. It's a one-stop shop, and you've done a wonderful job. And again, you're like tugging on my heartstrings right now, but I love this. I love this. So I'm going to head back. Thank you for taking the time to share that with us.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I am curious, a couple quick questions before we kind of get ready to head out today. Have you and your wife, family thought about moving back?
Well, oh my goodness, Howard, we do. We have in the past, we still do. But here's the funny part. We went in 2023, and that's when we did the big tour of Morocco. Uh, and at that time, Imran, our son here, really loved it. And he was like, you know what? I want to move back to Morocco. And then Khadija said, no, we're not moving back to Morocco. So then in 2025, when they went, Khadija wanted to go back and live in Morocco. And then my son said, no, I want to live in Houston. So it's a constant struggle. And I don't really have the answer to it.
Two
Um,
homes.
Yes, two homes, I believe, is the best way because we're super fortunate to have two homes. So going back and forth is perfectly fine with me, even though sometimes it gets difficult. But
Right.
it's a really difficult question to answer because it
Sure.
varies. Sometimes I say,
Sure.
"Hey, I want to go back." Sometimes it's like, "Hey, it's difficult. I'm good where I'm at right now." So
Okay. Okay. If somebody wanted to move to Morocco as an expat coming in, like I have this, look, like you, I'm in my podcast studio right now. When I'm not podcasting, I'm coaching. Now I'm hoping to do more outdoor coaching, hiking and coaching at the same time. But for the most part, my clients are online, and I have this desire, like I can live anywhere and do what I do.
that is
Is
true.
Morocco ready for the digital nomad to come and stay?
I would say yes, slash no, but mostly yes, especially in the big cities,
Okay.
because the internet is good. It's fast. We have fiber as well. It's not as fast as the US, obviously, but it's good. It's really decent. The challenge would be, especially in the southern part of Morocco, when you go to the mountains, when you go to the village and the desert, that's where the internet really becomes kind of challenging because of connectivity and tower issues with the satellites and stuff like that. So, but if you're
Okay.
in a big city, Marrakesh, Fez, Casablanca, or what, all those cities, you're going to be just perfectly fine, which is just incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Something to think about. And I
Yes.
know somebody from Morocco, so you're
And
my,
it's so funny, Howard, because when I went to Morocco this time, we do ads and we create content for our company. And I created some ads with my team. And I was able to record them in Marrakesh at a podcast facility. So yeah, we can rent a space and do some really good content in Morocco. If just an opportunity presents itself, in any major city, there are podcast studios, there are TV studios. We can definitely create something
I
very
love
unique and
that.
magical. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. Before we head out, as you look back in what you and your wife, family, your connections back in Morocco have created, what's your aha moment? The like, wow, I get to do this.
Sometimes we do this and we do it day in and day out, and we just think it's normal, but it's really not normal. We're really changing people's lives in a way, Howard. And sometimes, yes, I get those aha moments many times. And one experience really stands out is with Sesha from Canada. She went to Morocco and she only wanted to do the desert experience. So she went to Merzouga for 5 days. And she was like, at the end, we did an episode, and she was just like, you know what? I found myself in the desert. That's what I really wanted. And so I know who I am. I know what I'm made of. And she loved it. So she went back to Canada with new everything, perspective, energy, vibe. So yeah, we get those every now and then, 100%. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So, kind of an obvious question, but why should I visit? Why should my listeners want to visit Morocco?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say for you, Howard, food.
Well, you know me so well.
You know, it's so funny because the food is just beyond incredible. And we talk about tagine, but when you say tagine, it's the actual dish where the food is served. But tagine, it can be made out of so many things, and
Right.
beef, lamb, fish, chicken, just vegetables. And it's made in different city, differently, even from household to household, whether you're in a city or a village. So you
Right.
can have the same tagine, but it's going to taste different anywhere else you go. So the food is definitely one of those attractions to Morocco. This a lot of people want to go because of the food, because of the diversity, because of it. Just the vibe is just incredible, and you'll really enjoy it.
Excellent. Excellent. You sold me.
Thank you.
Esteen, before we head out, just a reminder, where are the best places for our listeners to go if they'd like to learn more about Morocco, getting ready to take have an experience of a lifetime or maybe a return visit? Where are the best places to go?
The best place, Howard, I would say, is definitely start with the podcast, which is they can get it anywhere. They listen to their podcast, which is Destination Morocco podcast, and then listen to a few episodes. And if you're ready and you think we are a good fit for you, I would say go to the website, which is destinationsmorocco.com. That's destinations with an S, morocco.com, and book your discovery call. It's just a 30-minute. We answer all the questions that you have, and we take it from there. So yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Thank you. Esteen, it's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast. I really enjoyed it. I think we could probably continue, but my day job calls, but I really no and truly appreciate the time you've spent today having this conversation, and I know my listeners are going to really enjoy it. And if they are like me, we're going to be starting to have Morocco on our radar. So thank you for spending
Absolutely.
time today.
Thank you so much, Howard. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. It is a privilege to be a guest on your podcast. And thank you, Howard.
Thank you. Listen, stay in the line. We're going to do a quick close and you and I can have a final chat. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, folks. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to book a trip to Morocco. And who better than with Azdean Elmoustaquim and Destination Morocco? Great place to start. And as Dean had shared, do check out the Destination Morocco podcast. You get a lot of great information about what it really means to plan and really experience Morocco. So you come back and want to share that experience with your friends. And you definitely go out to their website, destinationsmorocco.com. They also have a Facebook and Instagram presence. We'll provide all those backlinks in our show notes. As for us, you can find our episode on our website, outdooradventureseries.com. We're also on Facebook and LinkedIn on our Outdoor Adventure Series pages. The video of this episode, which includes the tour of the Destinations Morocco website, will be up on our YouTube channel. And of course, you can listen to this episode wherever you get your podcast from. Okay, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there and have a fantastic day. And we look forward to having you join us on a future episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care.